What do you say, baseball fans? Rye Bread talking baseball, episode 44. What a slate last night. Amazing games up and down the schedule. We're changing our East-West to the wild card chase, which is basically the East-West teams. So we're going to stick with that format, but since the East and West are not going to be playing each other so exclusively as they were here early, we're just going to follow the wild card as it goes through, with our focus on those American League East and West teams. Since we've started it, we're going to finish that. And we're going to analyze the changes in the perception of the game. From umpire shoes to Bauer last night going crazy, it was good. Let the baseball happen. So let's just jump right into the action. Major League Baseball is better when you get free baseball. Lots of extra innings tilts. We had 3 of them that I was at least in tune with last night. Tampa Bay 9, Toronto 7. Mejia hits a grand slam in the 12th and they win the game. It didn't look good for the Rays early in that one, I can tell you, but Lau hits 2. G-Man Choi. G-Man, go easy, buddy. Love that guy. The Rays are impossible to dislike. Just like the A's. I love the A's and the Rays. They're just so fun to watch. And tonight, Robbie Ray, lefty. Sure, Rays have some trouble with that. We're taking them. We're taking the Rays minus 106. They're too hot to handle. Randy Arozarena, Manuel Margot, Yandy Diaz, Mike Brasso, Mike Zunino. These right-handed bats going to be key. They're heating up, those guys. Brasso and Zunino actually took Robbie Ray deep in the last time he faced them this year. So the lineup for the Rays is going to be right-handed heavy, and they're throwing McClanahan out there. McClanahan is too nasty, and Brent Honeywell Jr. is up. He didn't go last night, and they threw everybody out there. They only got 4.2 out of Glasnow last night. Didn't have his best stuff. Doesn't matter. Guy's a horse. So you're going to see him, the righty, after the lefty. And I expect to see the new addition, Rasmussen, after that. Got to play with the new toys. I was sorry to see Willie go, but it was just a matter of time. I hope this guy is good, these 2 relievers. I don't know anything about this J.P. Frierson. I can't even say his name right, so I'm not gonna try. Rasmussen, though, I've seen before, and he looks pretty good. He's got good stuff, just couldn't rein it in. But the Rays are notorious for that. I expect that he's good because they weren't going to give Willie away for free. He's an important piece. He might have been more important to the Rays than he would be to another team. But I noticed that Patino had kind of taken up the mantle of taking off the helmet and being the hype man. And it looks like the leadership training has transferred over into some of the younger guys from Willie. It's just, I love watching Willie play. And I'm sad to see him go, but he's going to my Brewers. So that's awesome. I'm so pumped that he's going to the Brewers because I watch so much Brewers baseball now. But good luck to Willy Adames, man. It's sad to see him go, but that's how it goes in baseball. Taylor Walls, the prospecty shortstop switch hitter, coming up. His AAA numbers, 327 average and a 468 on base. He's not really a masher per se, but he gets a lot of hits. And is apparently a smooth as silk fielder. So that's just the tip of the iceberg. They still have Vidal Brujan, who I expect to see. And then, of course, the Wonder Boy Wander Franco is waiting in the wings. But they're going to wait until all the service time stuff is done for sure on him. So we're going back to the well on the Rays. We keep saying that price for McClanahan is going to go through the roof. He's more expensive now, but he's still at minus 106. It's basically a coin flip. It went from him being, plus 136 to now minus 106 against a tough Blue Jays team. Man, Vladdy is on fire. That guy's just smoking baseballs. So this is going to be another great game. We're going to be all over it. Boston 11, Philly 3. That was just a mass show. 30 strikeouts in that game. Yikes. But it was a mash fest for Boston. The game we bet, another win for our bets. We're staying hot. New York 2, Chicago White Sox 1. It was actually an exciting game. You don't see a whole lot of exciting Yankees baseball, and if we hadn't bet it, I probably would not have been watching it, but Rodon was going, and the guy was ridiculous. But guess what? Montgomery actually had the better night. Montgomery goes 7 innings, 11 strikeouts, no walks, no runs. And then Rodon, 13 Ks, no walks, no runs, but 6 innings of scoreless work versus 7 innings of scoreless work. It doesn't matter how you get there. So Kopech comes in, gives up a home run to Gleyber Torres, and then Torres knocks in the winning RBI in extras. Judge comes around to score. The play of the game, though, obviously, is this triple play. 5-4-3 triple play. Chapman is just on the ropes. He's in big trouble. And then boom, boom, boom. Yankees come in to hit, win the game. We win the bet. Not too shabby. Quite an evening. But we're staying away from it today because it's so expensive with Cole on the hill for the Yankees. You probably look for them to get another one today. But the price is so crazy that I was tempted to just roll with the White Sox, but I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. But I haven't seen the Yankees play exciting games. Like even against the Rays, it's like, ho-hum, oh, there's a 3-run homer. Or I'm just usually not into watching Yankees baseball, especially this year. And that was a fun game. Definitely an exception. Angels. A's win 8-4. It felt a lot closer than 8-4. Pinder hits a 3-run homer in the 7th, I think, 6th or 7th. I think it was the 7th. And that is the extender, but it was tight. Ramon Laureano is making a case for MVP. I don't know if his numbers don't speak that way. Every time I look at the guy, he's winning a game for the A's. Dude's 4 for 4, hits a bomb, takes one back. Guy's an incredible player. And Murph, that guy just gets big hits. He got a lot of big hits against the Rays. He had 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and 2 strikeouts last night. The guy gets a lot of big hits, man. And Caprillion looks sharp again. I'll be watching for him. He's going to go on my checklist for younger pitchers that aren't on my appointment list yet, but I like him. And, take it easy on the guy's old man. They spend 10 minutes on the dude's old man in the stands. Of course, he's going to be pumped. Give the guy a break. It's cute, but it gets a little bit overdone sometimes with that. Oh, and look, his dad's fired up. No kidding. Tonight you got Bassett and Bundy. Minus 136 for the A's. It seems plausible, but I'm just staying off it. I've been just all over the A's. It's just because I like them. And just can't bet them because I like them. Rays the same way. But I like this for other reasons. The Rays bet, I kind of like it just because of the pitching that the other team doesn't know about as much. So, moving on. Pinder in that game made a fantastic defensive play and hits the big 3-run homer to win it for the A's. But you can't count out Laureano and what he did in that game. Absolutely ridiculous. And last night across Major League Baseball, there were a ton of outfield assists. It seemed like more than usual. And Jose Rojas had one. He made a slick play off the carom, gets it into Fletcher. They get a runner at the plate. And then he throws out a number. I forgot who he threw out at the plate. But he had a cannon. There was another great throw in the Miami and Mets game that we'll get to eventually here. But we can't get out of our East-West thing here. Another extra inning game last night. How would you like to be up in extras with 2 outs, 2 on, and just hit a bomb? Adolis Garcia is a dynamic player. He was dangerous against the Rays, too. He is an exciting guy. Kyle Gibson, that's 9 quality starts in a row for Gibson. He's in some elite company there in the history of the Rangers. Altuve's got a 15-game hitting streak, but Brock Holt kind of grew a beard in around his mustache. So we got to get that taken care of. That's the big takeaway from the game, is that Brock Holt now kind of has more of a beard than a mustache. We need to rectify that immediately. The world is kind of out of balance when Brock Holt doesn't have the best mustache in the league. Just kidding. Anyway, we're looking for Houston tonight. I think they got to get back on this. You don't have to sweep every series when you're Houston playing Texas, but you should win the series, and I expect that to happen tonight. I expect them to get back at it. I wanted to cover this Mets and Miami game because it was a lot more exciting than you might have anticipated. Khalil Lee, a player that I hadn't really heard of, but apparently the guy had struck out 8 times to start his career. Yikes. And then he gets a double in extras to win it. There was that the other throw I was talking about, Sierra. I don't know this guy either. Magneuris Sierra, he slipped through my radar. I don't know much about him, but he's got a cannon. He made an overthrow that cost him some runs, but he threw a laser, man. In those Miami uniforms, you can't say enough about that. They are tight. Better than their regular unis. Their regular unis have sharpened up quite a bit lately, but those ones they were wearing last night were pretty cool. And I don't want to leave. The Mets win that game emotionally, and every time their pitchers got a strikeout, they seem to really sell it out pretty hard. It's like, man, if you get yourself in a jam and then you celebrate that hard, I understand the emotion. I don't think it's a big deal, and I am not worried about the emotion in the game. I just think it's a good lead-in for me saying that, look, man, just get over it. The umpires are wearing Jordans now. They're part of the action more than they've ever been before. We're going to have to lean into that as well. I kind of touched on it yesterday, but I didn't go too far into it. You give these guys the replay tools at their disposal so they can self-correct their own strike zone, so they can just look at the play after on a tag play or something like that and just know if they got it. It's so easy. It really is easy. And then you make the guys playoffs based on how they judge inside the strike zone, not their strike zone, and their overall correct call even after they get to look at it. And they can be as emphatic as they think they are right. And that adds a little spice to the game. If they choose to do that. If they want to be part of it, which a lot of them are. So I say we let them lean into it. And last night's 2-1 game between the Dodgers and Giants is another example. Bauer playing the villain. What an entertaining game. He's walking off after he throws a great pitch, thinks he's got a guy struck out. Oh, man, it was just Bauer being Bauer. And just learn to love it, enjoy it. Let the guy be the heel. He's not a dummy. He knows what he's doing. And he's funny, man. Just let it go. We got to chill the out, dude. For real. I was enjoying the hell out of that game. The Dodgers-Giants is always going to be good. And that was Bauer's first foray into the mess. I love it. Tied for first, San Francisco and San Diego now. The heat is on. And then LA right there, 1 game back. This is going to be exciting. We're all over that. Padres win big, 16-1. The Mariners are reeling. 16-1? Yoo-hoo! Wowzers, man. And I just had to mention when the Padres were going bananas last night and after Mejia get that grand slam, man, that slam Diego will travel. Blake Snell for Mejia and Patino and one more. So, okay. We're going to go ahead and take that. Pitching matchups for tonight. You got Adbert Alzolay at Miles Mikolas. First place Cardinals hosting the Cubs. And the Cubs are underdogs because Alzolay is good. If they were the fave, I would have taken him. If they were the underdog, I would have taken him, excuse me. But, man, Cubs are favored at the Cardinals because Adbert Alzolay's been that good. And the only reason his numbers are the way they are is, like we followed it before, the bullpen gave up runners that were inherited, and they got tacked on to Alzolay. So his numbers would be even better than they are right now. And I'm telling you, he's a good watch. We're going to be all over that as well. Don't forget, if you're at the Trop, you're 15 minutes away from Bascom's Chop House in Clearwater, Florida. Best steakhouse in the city, best wine list in the city. And if you're thinking about going to the Philippines, I'm not kidding. The surf is awesome. The vibe is badass. Go over to Bravo Beach Resort in Siargao, Philippines. Siargao. You'll love it. We'll be back again tomorrow with more. We're going to do 162.